Thunder Force style.
Hello and welcome back to the vlog, guys. It's Speedy Gimp 313 coming at you for another entry. In this entry, I'm going to bring you guys along as we do a simple exterior outgrade to the Camaro Deadpool. We're going to replace all of the lights in the rear tail lights with LED bulbs, as well as the tag lights and all of the interior lights in the cab as well as in the trunk. And I'm going to show you guys how much of a difference it will make in the brightness that is produced by the lights when they're active, as well as how it will change the exterior look of your vehicle.
Okay guys, as you can see in this clip, this is the stock exterior tail lights. If you notice, or if you look closely, you'll notice that the tag lights as well as the reverse lights have a yellow glow to them and not a clean, crisp white light. So changing to the LEDs is going to make that light whiter and brighter, which will make the vehicle more noticeable and better illuminate the area when you're backing up, which will improve your visibility.
Okay guys, as you can see, this is the factory interior lighting, and it's kind of got a yellowish tint. It's not very bright. Okay guys, this is the interior of the car with the one interior light on. Again, it's kind of yellow, it's not very bright. As you can see, this is the stock trunk interior light. And again, I don't know how well this is going to translate on camera since there's still a fair amount of daylight right now.
Okay guys, what we're doing here is removing the cover that covers the tail light housing on the trunk of the 2015 Camaro. And what you have to do is you have to get a flathead screwdriver or a little pry tool and gently pry the plastic clips up to release that cover to expose the back of the tail light housing. I would recommend, if you have a Camaro and you do this, to be very gentle, as these are just made of plastic, and I feel like if you apply too much force they could be easily broken. Also guys, I want to point out this is a good time, especially if you don't have covered parking for your Camaro. While you have this cover off, it's a great time to clean the area behind the tail light housing. I don't know how well it'll show up in the video, but mine had a lot of dust and just dirt built up in the short 3 years that I've had the car, just from driving around in daily use. So it's a good time to clean that area while you've got it taken apart. So in this clip, we're just testing the light before we reinstall it into the housing to make sure it works. In this clip, we begin replacing the brake lights and turn signals. It's a relatively straightforward process for all of them. All you do is give the bulb housing a quarter twist and it releases from the tail light housing. You pull it out, you remove the old bulb and plug in the new LED, as you will see us do in this clip. This shot right here shows the stock light on the left side of this housing and the upgraded LED on the right side, and you can already tell a difference in the brightness even during the middle of the day. In this clip, I'm removing the tag light housing to replace the light in it with an LED. What you'll notice is after we install the LED, the housing does not want to go back in and stay secure in the opening. And what happened is the little tab you have to depress To release the tag housing, if you depress it hard enough, you actually change the gap on it where it meets the body, and so it no longer fits in the opening and will actually fall back out. What you have to do is take a pry tool or a screwdriver or whatever you use to release it and push on the back side of that tab right up against the housing to widen the gap a little bit to get that housing to seat in the opening properly. In this clip, I'm simply reinstalling the tail light housing cover. So this is where we figure out what the issue with getting the tag light housing to lock back in place was and actually correct it. And if you look closely at the video, you can see my friend kind of take his screwdriver and kind of push the clip, force it back out to create a bigger gap, so when you put the housing back in, it actually creates tension inside there to hold it firmly in place. In this clip, we're removing the trunk light and replacing the bulb with an LED. What I noticed on this was the fixture I had that held the bulb was almost like a plug, and then the light bulb itself was held by this metal frame on the lens, and I guess that creates the circuit for the plug. All the videos I saw on YouTube showed that this light was just a bulb that plugged directly into a socket. However, with my 2015, this was not the case, but still changing it out was relatively simple. I would advise you, if you do this to your Camaro and you have the same style plug as I do, to be very careful not to bend the metal prongs that hold the bulb in place. Here again, we're just testing the light to make sure it works before we put everything back together, just so if there is an issue, it's easy to correct without having to do the work a second time. And lastly, we will replace the interior dome light. As you'll see in this clip, as well as several others, we actually installed the light backwards, which reversed the polarity and caused it not to work. So we had to remove it, turn it 180 degrees and reinstall it. But once that was done, everything worked as it should and there were no issues. These last three clips are simply going to be to show you the difference in the lighting from stock to what the LEDs look like now that they've been installed. Starting with the rear of the car, what you will notice is that since the LEDs have less resistance than the traditional bulb, it causes the taillights to blink much faster. And you can wire in a load resistor to eliminate that, but I'm not comfortable with electrical wiring, so I did not attempt that.
Okay guys, I don't know how well this is going to translate on camera. One, because it's not pitch black dark out, but this is the LED that was replaced in the trunk. Honestly, the light here doesn't really seem any brighter over the factory light, but it's whiter, it's cleaner, it doesn't have that yellow tint to it that makes the light seem kind of dull to the eye. So it's definitely an improvement over the factory, but I don't know as far as light output if it's really going to be that big of a difference over the factory bulb, other than just making the light brighter than it was before. Okay guys, this is what the interior looks like with the new LED installed. As you can see, it's much brighter than the stock light that came in the vehicle. It lights up the interior a lot more, which will definitely aid in finding things when needed in the dark. I do have plans at some point to change this white LED out to a red LED, just to give it a little bit of a different look inside of the cab of the car. But I'll make another video when I actually do that, or just film a quick segment and show you guys what it looks like with the red light. Okay guys, that's going to do it for this entry. If this is your first time coming to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. As always, links to all of my social media will be in the description. Thanks for watching and have a great night.